This is Mike from MPCstuff and MachineStuff.com. Today I'm going to show you how to install the thick MPC style pads for the Native Instruments machine. Not only did we make them thicker, we also rounded the edges on the thick pads on these just like the MPCs are, so they're not a jagged edge like the original ones. We made them a little bit softer, although since they're a little thicker it's going to feel probably about the same. I haven't tested it yet. This is a prototype set, so once I test it, we'll know, but I figured when I test them, I might as well make the video on how to install them. So now we're going to start. As you can see, the knobs I've already taken off. This is one of the gold. We have gold knobs at MPCstuff and MachineStuff.com. We got gold tipped ones. We also have silver ones, and those are sold on our site, and you can buy those for the Native Instruments machine. This one's also fitted with our wood side panels. It's going to have to take those off to get it off, so we're going to leave that part out as taking off the wood panels. Because if you don't have them, you won't need to do that step. So I'm going to take the wood panels off first, and then I'm going to get to taking apart the machine. Okay, now that we got our wood panels off, we're going to take the rest of the knobs off, and we're going to turn this thing upside down so we can get towards the back side. What I'd suggest is using some sort of foam or a pillow or something like that. That way the encoders don't get messed up when you turn it on its back side to open it up from the back. Now that we have it set on the foam, you're going to see on the underside there's screw holes for screws that need to be taken out. They're all very self-evident, very easy to see, with the exception of the one that's going to be under this label here. You're going to have to poke a hole right there so you can get it out. So first things first, we're going to take all the screws on the back side out. That's going to take off this back plastic cover. Now that you've got it, you're just going to pull this black plastic cover. You'll kind of realize this cover really doesn't do anything other than just be the base of the unit. And you're going to see the board inside. And on this board inside, you're going to note there's all these little silver screws. The silver screws are going to have a little screw mark on the top side of them that shows you they need to come out. Truth of the matter is, every single one of these little screws on this board is going to come out, enabling us to get this board up. It's very simple. There's a lot of them, but once you get them all out, it's perfect. Some people have used electric screwdrivers to pull them out. It makes it a little faster. That's what I'm going to do. I don't suggest using an electric screwdriver to put them back in because you don't want to over tighten them. So now we're going to pull all the little silver screws out and just make sure to put them in a cup or something like that so you don't lose any of them. Alright, now that you've got the back, this part off and all the silver parts are taken out already, now you'll be able to lift this back portion off right here. You might notice that this part, the USB part right here, might get stuck inside the hole in the back. If it does, you just kind of pull it forward or pull backward a little bit this way, and it'll work. So once we have this off, we're going to pull it away and put it aside. And now you'll see come across all the buttons on the back. These are essentially the pad sensors. You'll see the back side has like a carbon type thing on the back, and then the front is like more of a shiny side. The shiny side is the side that's going to go against the pads, and then the sensor side is going to go this way. Well, we're going to get these out of the way, and we're going to install our MPCstuff thick pads with the rounded edges like the MPCs on here. As you can see here, the difference in the thickness is pretty substantial. You may note on the top of these pads, these are our prototype, so you'll see a little bit of scoring from our mold, but they won't be like that by the time they get to you. But as you can see, the thickness is substantial, and we're going to put them on the machine now so you can see the difference when they're actually on the machine and the playability difference. Alright, so now that we have the thick pads on, we're going to put our sensors back on top. Again, remember the sensors go this way up top, which is the more matte colored, and that's going to go towards the top where the sensors are. And now we're just going to do the reverse order of what we just did. We're going to put the board back on. The one thing to remember when you're doing the board on the back side is that all these screws that have a little screw hole right there next to them, let me try to get this thing in focus. The ones with the screw hole next to it that have a little picture of a screw, that's where you put screws. There's certain ones that don't, like down here, one down here, over here. Those ones aren't going to get a screw in them because when you put the back plate back on, that's where these holes are going to factor in. So make sure that when you're putting these back in, the silver screws only go where there's a little screw indicator next to it. So let's put those all back on, and then we'll put the back plate back on, and we'll show you how these work. Alright, I figured we'd also show you a little bit, now that they've been installed. You can see they're thicker. The way they come up, it looks so much better, considering your old pads used to come up about that much. Again, you'll see from our mold where the CNC pulled it through, so yours will not have that. That's just on the prototypes here. Yours will be completely flat like the original pads on the top. Again, these are just prototypes. We're going to have these available in different colors. You're going to have like a blue clear, you're going to have a smoke color clear, gray, which will be actually not clear, but it'll be like the MPC style, and then we're also going to have a red clear as well. Now I'm going to show you pretty much, I'm going to shut out the lights a little bit so you can see how everything lights up and the way it works, but again, this is how it looks once it's on, with the rounded edges rather than the squared edges like the original one uses. And now I'm going to show you how they play. Alright, now that we have the pads installed, they look awesome. They're a lot thicker than the regular pads. Like I talked about before, you can see a little scoring on the top of them. That's just from our molds because these are a prototype. Their ones will not look like that. They're also going to come in clear. We're going to have like a smoke color. We're going to have a red clear, and there's going to be a blue clear. And then we're also going to have MPC style, which is not going to be light up, but it's going to be gray like the MPCs. So now when you, what you'll realize at first, when you're playing these things, they just feel so much better. It actually feels a little bit loose almost in there, even though they're the exact same outside. It's just because the height of the pads makes it just feel easier to play better. You can kind of feel the pads around. It's the way it should have been designed to begin with. Unfortunately, it wasn't, but we have at MPCstuff made them. So like I said, we got the thick pads now. We showed you how to install them for the Native Instruments machine and the Micro machine. Same pads fit for both. We also have a video that we're going to release doing the install on the Micro. So again, you can get these at MPCstuff or MachineStuff.com. And thanks for watching.